Hello everyone, myself Kavitha, Assistant Professor, Department of Civil Engineering, VSB Engineering College, Karur. Today we will see the introduction part of estimation, costing and valuation engineering. These are all the 5 units. Unit 1 is quantity estimation, rate analysis, and third unit is specifications and reports and tender. Fourth one is a contract, and fifth one is a valuation. So today we will see the introduction part of the unit 5. So before going to that, we will see the course objective of the subject. So the students will acquire the knowledge in estimation, tender practices and contract procedures and the valuation. What is the purpose of valuation? How to calculate tender, contract, procedure and how to invite the tenders, right? So this is the unit 5. It is valuations. We have a different content are available. We have definitions of valuation, what are all the various types of valuation, what are all the methods we are going to adapt, and some of the terms we should know. What is mean by year purchase, what is mean by sinking fund, what is the capitalized value, depreciation, how to calculate the depreciation for the building and as well as the land, right? And also we have to know the standard rent, how to calculate the rent, mortgage, lease, and what are all the types of lease. So it is a very important one thing, right? Day by day we are facing this mortgage, lease, rent, everything, right? So before going to that, what is the prerequisite knowledge for studying this unit, this subject? The basic concept needed: understanding of land and building, differentiate between the cost, value and price. This is a very important thing. So before going to do the valuation process, we should know the differentiation of what is meant by cost, value and price. We will explain, right? And awareness is of taxes. What are all the different types of taxes for the building as well as the land, right? And once we know this, we have to calculate the value of the property, and also knowledge on the loans and mortgages and the basic idea of land acquisition law. What are all the main laws are involved, right? So these are all the prerequisite knowledge. Once the students learn, after the learning they should able to do why valuation is needed. They will explain what is the purpose of valuation, and they identify the situation where the valuation is required, and also they easily understand the rent, and also how to fix the rent, how to fix the tax. Everything will be depends upon the value, right? So they will understand, and also they can describe the valuation for the purpose of providing loan and insurances, and also they explain the valuation in land acquisition problems. So these are the learning objectives of the valuation unit. So we will see first of all what is the valuation. So valuation is the technique of estimation, because estimation, costing, valuation is everything is a process of calculating the values or total quantity, right? So this is also a technique. It is the main technique of estimation, or it is main purpose is determining the fair price or determining the value of present value of the property. That property may be a building, may be a factory, maybe it may be in various types of land. So once determining the present value, that value is called that process is called valuation, right? Present value of the property at a particular time. It may vary with different times, right? So the present value of the property at a particular time, that is called valuation. The valuation, by valuation, the present value of the property may identified. We can identify the present value by the process of valuation. So that present value of property may be decided. How the value can be decided? So if you are going to selling a property, if you are going to buying a property, or rent or tax, whatever it may be, these are some of the reasons. So due to the reasons, we decide the present value. So this is the selling price of the property. Oh, it will be the total price of the land. This will be a total price of the building. We can decide by the selling price or by buying price. We can decide it by these conditions, right? Once we understand this, we can easily calculate the value of the property. Then the value of the property may be depends upon some of the factors, because it is also a affecting factor. So it will inducing some process in the valuation. What are all the factors? the structure, what kind of the structure, what is the life of the structure, what are all the maintenance process involved in the structure, and where is the location, where is the land, where is the building. That location also another one important factor. And if any bank interest, legal control, legal agreements is there, so each and everything will be incorporated to the value of the property. So that is the main factor, right? Once mainly it depends upon the supply and demand and the purpose of the property. So that is also a main factor. It depends on the valuation. So we will see one by one, right? So initially we should know what is the cost and what is the value and what is the valuation. Everything we will be see, right? So cost is nothing but is a construction process of original cost of construction. So if you are going to make a pen, what is the charge, what is the minimum amount required to constructing a pen, so that is called original cost, that is called a cost value. What is the value means? It means the present value. It may be increasing or decreasing the original cost. So this is this is a one pen. So this pen is a the total cost of the pen is 10 rupees. So that is the cost. So what is the value? So I am going to selling the pen with 15 rupees. That is the value. It may be increasing the original cost. It may be decreasing the original cost. So that will be varied, but the original cost will not change, right? So if this is here is one example. So the total cost of the construction is 1 lakh, but we can sell the price which is 1 lakh 10,000, means that is the value of the building, right? So once the original cost, it may be varied from the original cost. The original cost mainly depends upon the construction cost, right? So what is the purpose? So we need valuation means what is the purpose of valuation? We have certain criteria here. We will see one by one. So this image indicating one house is buying or getting, selling price, selling the house or buying the house. This is the one factor, one purpose. Another one is a rent agreement. Next we will see another one, rent agreement. Next one is tax purpose. Another one is mortgage and lease process, and home loan and mortgage loan. So differentiation will be there. So for that also the land acquisition process. So these are all the main purpose of the valuation. So we will see the purposes. The valuation is determine the present worth of a property. For that purpose we did the valuation. Used for buying or selling a property, for valuation is needed. Another one is used for rent fixation purposes, right? Next one is used for the compensation in compulsory acquisition, the land acquisition problem. What are all the laws are involved, what is the present value of the property, we should know. Then only we will solve the problem, right? That land acquisition problems. And it is required for the bank loans and mortgages, lease process, right? And also it helps to calculate the taxes of the property. It may be different types of taxes are available. For that also valuation is needed. So these are all the main purpose of valuation, right? We know that total rent or whatever it may be, tax, rent, selling price, buying price, total value, total cost, everything will be depends upon the total present value of the property. So this will be explained by each and every slide. First one is buying or selling property. When it is required to buy or sell a property, the valuation is required, right? Then taxation. To access the tax of the property is valuation. The different types of taxes are available. It may be a municipal tax, wealth tax, and property tax, whatever it may be. For that purpose also we have to fix the total value. So from that value only they are calculating this much amount of municipal tax will be we have to pay this much amount of 6% of total value we have to pay for the wealth tax, 4% of total value we have to pay for property tax. So like that we are mainly based on the total value and the present value of the property. For the taxation purpose we need to do the value. And rent, once we know the total property cost property, then only we have to adapt the rent for the property. It may be a land or it may be a building. That main purpose we have to know the valuation, right? Usually the rent may be fixed 6% to 10% of the total valuation. Total value of the property, it maybe 6 to 10% the rent may be fixed. So that is the condition here. And for the security purpose, loan, mortgage problems, land acquisition problems, everything which depends upon the present value. So they determine the total amount of compensation value the property is required, and also land insurance problem also. So from all those things we have some questions. Just think, why know the property value before purchase, right? It's a very important. Before purchase, why we should know? Then what if banks give loans without valuation? What will happen? They are without knowing the value of the property. If give the loan, what will happen, right? How does valuation affect the tax amount? We already explained there are different types of taxes are available, and how does the valuation affect the tax amount? Only we should know the value, then only we have to fix the taxes amount, right? And next one, why valuation for government acquisition, and can similar properties have different valuations? Is there any difference for the similar properties? Is the same or different? So these are all the some questions. Just we think and we can answer these questions, right? It is similarity questions. Okay, we will move to the next one, right? Factors affecting value of property. So this is the total value of property, this is the value of this land. So what are all the factors that affect the property? We will see one by one, right? The supply and demand. First one is supply and demand. We have to carefully read the two words. We have some relation, the supply and demand. We will explain it, right? Next one, increasing in the population. That is a main thing now. Nowadays, most of the problems will arise due to this increasing in the population. And cost of the construction. Now, each and every material of the construction material cost will be increasing the day by day. So that is another one factor. And purpose. What is the purpose we are going to construct a building? It is occupational purpose or educational, whatever it may be. What is the purpose? That will also affect the valuation, right? Interest and rent and public schemes, improvement of public schemes and abnormal conditions. These are all the main factors. We will see one by one, right? So these are all the some pictorial representations of the factors, right? Supply and the demand. So what is our demand? What is our supply? It is equal or not? Then only we have to fix, right? And increasing the population, cost of the construction, purpose. What is the purpose? It may be residential purpose, it may be investment purpose or vacation purpose or business purpose. We have different purposes are available, right? The purpose of purchase, right? Interest, security of capital, rent fixation, improvement of public schemes, water supply, road, electrical supply, sewer supply, parks. So each and everything will be depends upon this kind of amenity purposes right now. And also the abnormal conditions. Oh, it may be near to the coastal regions or river, lake, valleys or war. What are all the abnormal conditions? So it also may affect the present value, right? We will see one by one. So here, if we are taking a one location, right? In that location, if there are few buyers are available, only few buyers are available, but compared to that few buyers, the number of properties are more. Number of properties are available in that location is very more. So it is automatically what will happen? The total per present value of the property will be low. Low price will be here because only few buyers, the more number of properties are available. So it vice versa, it can be changed. So compared to the only minimum quantities of properties are available in the same location, there are few buyers are available or more buyers are available, what will happen? Automatically the present value of the property will be increasing. So got it? So the supply and the demand is very important things. So only few properties are available but more number of buyers are there, what will happen? The present value of the property will be increasing. They will increase the value because each and everyone wants the property, means automatically the property value will be increasing. But compared to that, vice versa, here one take on location, here what will happen means only few buyers are available, but more number of properties are available, then automatically the property value will be very low value. So that is the one case. So that will also affect the value, right? So that is the relation between the supply and the demand. And automatically increasing the population, so automatically the more number of people are accommodated one location, they each and everyone want the property, automatically the value of the property will be increasing, right? Then next one is the cost of the construction. Present cost of the construction values are increasing day by day, that will also affect the value, right? Next is a purpose. What is the purpose? Occasional or educational or residential purpose. It will also, the value will be changing day by day, right? Because the usage depends upon the usage in conditions, it will be vary. And interest purpose and rent fixation. We already discussed initially the 6 to 10% of total cost of the value it is fixed for the rent purpose, right? So that is also a rent restriction act also, and improvement of public schemes. So we already explained. So this location, this site is available in the location with all facilities like water line, sewer line, electrical supply, everything will be attached, everything will be incorporated, connected, this connected to that site. So automatically what will happen, the present value of the property will be increasing. So without these condition, automatically it will affect the value. So without electrical line, without sewer line, what will happen, the value of the property will be decreasing, right? So that is also another one part, right? And abnormal condition, we already explained what is the abnormal conditions. Though it may be war area, it may be in a terrorism area, it may be in a hill station, so likewise coastal area, so that condition also affect the value of the property compared to the normal location. That abnormal location is by changing, so automatically the value of the property also change, right? So that's all the main content related to the valuation. What is the valuation? What are all the purpose of valuation? And what is the main factor that affect the valuation? These are all the main content, initial content of the valuation, right? And we have to know some of the main terms. We will see one by one, right? First one is gross income. What does mean by gross income? It is the total income, but it included all receipt, and also it included the operational and collection charges. Total income plus included all receipts. So underline the word, we will see that later, right? So that is called gross income, right? And what is the net income? This is the saving or amount left after deducting all outgoings. Some of the monies are spending for some purpose, so deducting that amount, that saving amount is called net income, right? So some amount are deducted, that purpose is called outgoings. That what is the outgoings? The expenses which are required to incorporate the revenue of the building, we spend for the revenue of the building, that outgoings are expenses amount. So what are all the outgoings are incorporated to the corresponding building, we will see, right? So these are all the main types of outgoings. What is that? The taxes we should pay for, the municipal tax for our building, right? Electrical tax, municipal tax. So that is one outgoing. For monthly or yearly we have to pay tax, right? So that is the one outgoing. And repair work, we have to spend repair. Without repairing and maintenance, how the building life should be safer in condition. So that is another one outgoing. And main management and collection charges. Sinking fund, some of the amount are savings in they are holding some amount for sinking purpose to the total value of the property, some percentage value is holding, so that is called sinking fund. And loss of rent, so in a 12 months, in a year it is 12 months, so some of the month rent is not available, so that particular month we have to spend some amount, right? So for that is mainly required for this loss of rent. And miscellaneous amount, it is extra amount. So first of all we should know what is tax and how to pay. To be paid by the owner, we have to pay for the property for annually. It may be municipal property or wealth tax, we have to pay that. It is 10 to 20 percentage of gross income. The gross, we already see total income plus all including the receipt. So that amount of receipt, that income is called gross income. In that gross income we have to pay tax for 10 to 20 percentage. And and repair. What is the repair? It may be differentiate between, it may be factors depends upon the age of the building, what type of construction is adopted, and what is the nature of building. It may be or what is the nature of the building. Everything should be depends on the repairing work. Usually we will spend 10 to 15% of gross income. Otherwise, if you are in the renting purpose, so the owner can take 1 or 2 month rent amount for allowed for the repair. We know that, right? 1 or 1.5 months rent amount is paid for. It is for the allowed for the repair work, right? And annual repair, it is totally 1 to 1.5% of total cost of the construction. Then only we will get the property with the proper value, right? So once we did not do the repair work, automatically the total property of the value will be decreasing. So it is required to be carried out each and every year to maintain the property in a fit condition. Without the repair work, we will get the proper fitting conditions, right? And management and collection charges, it may be depends upon the type of buildings and locations, right? So if it is a small building, none of this charges will be provided and allocated. But it may be an apartment, it may be in a commercial building, we have to pay, we have to spend this amount, right? The rent collector and the liftman, pump attender, sweepers, and etc. So we have to spend 5 to 10% of gross rent may be taken as these accounts. So for this also we have to pay, right? So it is mainly for the small building, it will not be required, but it may be an apartment and buildings we have to spend. And certain amount of gross amount is spent, set aside that annually to maintain the accumulate of the total cost of the construction. That amount is called sinking fund. The annual sinking fund is also taken for the outgoings. That will be also called as outgoing fund. That only it is included in this outgoings. And loss of rent, if actually the property may not be kept fully occupied, in such cases the suitable amount should be deducted for the gross rent under outgoing. So that is called the loss of rent. And some of the miscellaneous amount we have to pay, so the collectors, sweepers, liftman, plumbing man, so that will be coming under management and collection charges. Miscellaneous charges include electrical charges, running lift, pump and lifting common places. So that charge will be for miscellaneous charges. Here it is 2 to 5%. And also some of the main important notes are here described. What are all the percentage for each and every work? For repair, it may be 10% for gross income. For municipal tax, we have to spend 20% of gross income, because each and everything will be very important. These data are incorporated to the calculation of the, if you are taking on value, if you are taking the building with the specifications and length, breadth, everything, we will have some building, we have to calculate the annual rent fixation, everything, valuation. So these are all the main factors, so we have to kept it mind. The properties of tax is 5% of gross rent, and management and collection charge are also 5%. Insurance premium at 1.5% of gross income. Miscellaneous charges for 2% of gross rent. So these are all the main important factors, right? So these are all the introduction part of the valuation. We already discussed what is the valuation, what are all the purpose of valuation, what is the factors affecting the valuation, some important terms incorporated to the valuation, right? So these are all some similarity question. Similarly, we did, explained previously, and these are the course outcomes. So this is unit 5. The value course outcome for the unit 5 is evaluate valuation for building and land. So this is a CO, right? So thank you.